According to the U.S. Department of Labor, 77% of American households have at least some type of debt.
Yeah, I have credit card debt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
have no debt.
you can pay it off. So you paid off all of the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you also use wedding gift money to do it.
It was only like 1,000 something.
It was still thousand something. Wedding gift money is wedding gift money. But it's fine. It was, get out the debt. You need the debt. Debt's going to control your life if you don't get rid of it.
Yeah, by
Yeah,
any means.
any means necessary. Like right now, I'm doing surveys and deliveries, so
Yeah.
I feel like giving blood sometimes. Not gonna do it. I don't like needles.
And they do be scamming you, and there are health risks involved.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Rather sell an organ to a black market dealer, probably more safe.
probably. Anyways, get out of debt.
For real, don't be in debt. It's not fun.
And if you think that maybe you have to take on debt to get out of your situation, then still don't do it. It's better to just be temporarily broke
Yeah,
and in a bad spot than like permanently or like for years. It's close to 10 years because bad stuff stays on your credit for like 7 years and a bankruptcy stays on there for up to 10 years. But I have heard of people that were able to like keep building it up and get it better even with that on there. So, yeah, that's an option,
it
but
really is.
not good.
It's not good at all. Debt is best bought by paying it. Don't uh honestly, the whole bankruptcy is a last resort option,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the resort would be for it to be bankruptcy. Every time I look at bankruptcy, it seems like a bad idea, but if you got to do it, you got to do it. So they have the reasons.
But I've been hearing about some people on the internet just casually talking about filing for bankruptcy just because they can, but it's really not a good idea unless it's like way unrealistic and you can never pay it off in your life. Then I would say it's probably the best thing to do to just free yourself and get on with your life.
Really, it's surreal.
And it sucks that student loans cannot be discharged with bankruptcy.
They can't.
No, that's what makes them like one of the most dangerous loans, especially for teenagers to be signing.
I really think that this is not controversial opinion. It's not. It's kind of hot take still. I feel like high school should go longer than 18. Like, it probably should go longer.
I would have hated that.
Yeah, me
But
too.
yeah, I'm just saying that there should be maybe like a readiness. I guess that would be community college. But I don't know. I feel like even then they don't really teach you enough about adulthood.
You know.
So there should be like years of adult readiness or something. Or they should have some classes on student loans
Yeah.
and finances and everything you have to do as an adult in high school so that you're prepared. Like, can we simulate being out on our own and paying bills? That would be cool.
No, for real. Cause I'm be real. I took both economic classes, at least the basic ones. I don't know if they had any advanced placement ones, but they go into credit card debt and student loan debt, but they don't do like enough because I'm still finding out a lot of things which are basic, like the most bare bones basic information about them. So like I didn't know that about private to public, like I didn't know none of that difference. So
Y'all better start learning.
I did not know the rates for
Oh, yeah.
what's it called,
The interest rates?
interest rates. Thank you. I didn't know that those can change.
Yeah, what's really sad is when I had signed for the car and for my private student loan, I had no idea what the interest rates were in the first place. And I looked at them after I paid them off, which is bad. But they change daily. Yeah, and they're also on federal student loans. So,
Daily.
yeah.
Y'all thought that was supposed to be yearly or like 6 monthly. Are you serious? Daily?
Yeah, it's daily. Check your interest rates. Don't get into debt.
Please don't.
Just don't do it.
Please don't.
Like, if you gotta go a day without food, then take all of that time to plan how you gonna get food the next day. I guess, yeah, at the very, like, if you're that desperate, you have to get something, then that is excusable. But you should also still have a plan to pay that back, even if you're in a bad position. But yeah, the debt, that's really bad though. It's just a consumerism, buying stuff that you don't need and getting into debt that way.
Dang. Well, since this part has already gone 5 minutes, we have to get into the videos.
Yeah,
Are we a podcast at this point?
I guess so.
We can get into the videos in a second here. Okay, I'm gonna.
Today was payday, so let's talk through my payday routine, specifically when I am in a financial reset and trying to knock out some financial goals. I first look at my income for the month. I only budget on my fixed income, so work and Rover, it's about the same every single month. I don't include brand deals, creator fund, Amazon links, any of that, because it just varies so much every month, and I'd rather be safe than sorry when I'm budgeting. Money I do end up making from social media goes towards savings or my financial goals always. So looking at this month, my guaranteed income is $5,531. Then I will go look at my essentials for the month and map out what that looks like. And on payday, I pay all of these even if they're not due yet. My expenses came out to $3,642. Student loan, car payment, car insurance always knocks out a ton of money every month, which you do what you can. So with an income of $5,531 and $3,642 in essentials, I am left with $1,888 to do with what I will. Since I am trying to crack down on my financial goals, which is paying off high interest debt and creating an emergency fund, I'm going to put as much money as I feel comfortable doing towards that. So for this month, I'm setting aside $830 strictly towards my financial goals. My first order of business is paying off my high interest credit cards. I don't have a ton of credit card debt, but I just want it gone so I can stop paying minimums. So I'm going to pay the minimums on all 3 of my credit cards. I'm also going to tack on another $530 to my credit card with the highest interest rate, and then $300 to my other credit card that has the second highest interest rate. So with my $1,888 of fun money, I'm using $830 of it to crack down on my credit cards, and then my remaining afterwards is $1,058. That is just for whatever my little heart desires, gas, pets, fun stuff, the whole shebang. Then I immediately take a look at my fixed funds, if that makes sense. So those include Spotify, my Regal Pass, Kindle Unlimited, Netflix, streaming services, all of that stuff. Right off the bat, that total is $276. So my remaining free-for-all spending money is actually $781. So that is how I budget for the month, and I'm cracking down on my financial goals while still allowing myself room to have fun and enjoy my money. Today was payday.
I always forget that Excel can calculate stuff for you. So I was really confused what he was using. It's Excel.
Yeah.
It's a spreadsheet.
Very good tool.
It is. I'm going to try to get into competitive spreadsheet competitions. They exist. Pro. So I stopped writing spreadsheets. Too many pros.
Excel sports.
Excel sports. That's what the E stands for. Excel. Anyway, I wish I would have known what her day was. I guess that's a little prying into her information. If she don't want to talk about it, she don't want to talk about it. I wish I knew what it was.
Yeah, me too, because it seems like the expenses are like over half of the income that she's making, and that's not good.
It's not.
But if she's paying off the debt, then that would make sense. So maybe she's making extra payments toward them. But yeah, paying off debt, sometimes you gotta go like over half, and then you have very little to live on, and that's not good, but at least you getting the debt out.
I'm not trying to be mean about it, but I would not to say one got caught dead. I hate houses that have to have the AC thing inside the window. I hate it so much.
Oh yeah.
I hate it so much. It's just like central AC. She's in Nashville, Tennessee. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh, it's a little hotter over there.
Exactly. I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
It doesn't look good on inside or outside.
but I
Yeah,
guess it's there.
it's there. It's there.
There for AC.
Sorry, sorry. I don't know why I said it. It just kind of bothered me. I hate him.
Right.
I hate him so much.
But for real, debt, the credit cards and all of that, going into debt, I feel like it should just be an option when you're very desperate and you have to have whatever it is that you need to get. It's a necessity and it has to be now and you can't wait any longer. So, like food, when you don't have any food to eat and you're starving and you might need gas to get to work, you might need to pay like rent or mortgage, that would make sense. But you still want to have a plan to pay that back because getting into debt now, you might not be suffering now, but you are setting yourself up to suffer later potentially. And then if you lose your job then, and then you're going to be so far in debt and you don't have enough to pay all of that, and any money you make can be garnished.
For real.
So yeah, just use it wisely.
Just legit at any point. At any point, something could happen. Yeah, it may not be an issue now, but it could be an issue later. See, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
exhaust all resources before going into debt because there's food pantries and then there's people you know that might can give you something. There's churches you can go to that might help you out. So look into all of that first.
And don't be too proud to ask for help.
Yeah.
Don't. There was like once a time we didn't go to no food pantries and nothing. We could have, truly. We were paying off her debt. It was really important. We were paying off a marriage and a debt. Luckily, people came and helped out. But we could have, but we didn't.
There was no reason to. We had like 62-cent bologna.
Pain.
And that was a choice from me.
Yes.
So like I didn't have to put all that money toward it. And if there was like an emergency that came up, I could have stopped. But yeah.
Yeah.
But food pantries are there to help you, so you should use them if you need to. Just don't be greedy there.
Yeah.
That's all. If you're too proud to ask for help, just ask for the very basics that you need. If anybody has anything to spare, and just don't be greedy.
Yeah. I'm really kind of more adverse to using food pantries because I feel like that should be more for like the lower class in my eyes, and I don't see myself as that. But if you need to do it, you need to do it. Don't feel shame about it.
Yeah, and it for real it doesn't need to be just the lower class because everyone at any point in their life could need help.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not taking way more than you need, then it's fine because they're constantly getting supplied by like people that want to give, and then like churches and what are those centers that like donation centers or whatever?
Yeah, food banks and stuff.
Yeah, so they're constantly getting supplied from all of those sources and stuff. So it's not like you're being a nuisance. They want to help you out.
Yeah, they don't need to know that you ain't actually like choosing between rent payment and food.
I mean, you don't have to be. If you
Yeah.
don't have food,
Yeah,
then
exactly. Yeah.
you need the
You right.
food bank.
You right. You right. You right. You right. I'm stupid.
And you don't have money to get the food right now, you could have $0 in your bank account and you have nothing left and you just need the food bank for like a day. They'll get you some dry goods from the food bank and there you go. There's also like surveys. That's kind of how I lived, how we lived when I was paying off the debt.
It is.
Because the extra money that I made from surveys, we went and got some food from the store. And so if you don't want to use food banks like that and you have the opportunity to do surveys, you can do that.
See, it's made so much money. She has to get taxed now.
Yeah.
That sucks. Have fun. Have fun putting certain money through taxes. Anyway,
Money's money.
money's money. If I get the next thing, go to food banks. Also donate food banks. And once that when that cashier asks you, you want to help donate, and you look in the eye, you say no. Just remember, I said to donate, and then you got to do it.
Exactly. See, that's another thing. If you feel guilty for whatever reason about going to the food bank, then don't just take and not give back. When you're in a better position, thank them by giving your supply to them because they helped you out when you were in need, and now you want to help others out when they're in need.
Yeah. Remember, we're not crabs in a bucket. Don't push people down to get back. You ever heard that phrasing? Crabs in a bucket.
No.
If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, the way they'll get out is they'll pull themselves up off of somebody else and then push them down. Don't You don't need to do that. Yeah, pull down the ladder, put that ladder down, and just help them out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
that's
gotta
all
say.
you need to do.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next part. We're rambling.
You're too much rambling.
I know.
I started my first full-time job with $100,000 of debt and then somehow thought it would be a good idea to go to grad school and take out another $40,000 of student loans. As of September 1st, my debt balance was $64,613.42. I refinanced most of my loans down to a 5-year term to reduce my interest rate, but that also means my monthly payments are super high. I paid $14.28 in minimum payments and an extra $125 from the interest in my high-yield savings account. That brings my final balance in September to $63,275.27, with a total payoff of $13.38 and total interest paid of $216. At the beginning of my debt-free journey, I put every single extra penny into paying off my debt and lived as frugally as humanly possible. This obviously helped me take a huge chunk out of my debt, but I no longer value being debt-free as soon as possible, especially because all of my debt is pretty low interest. If I followed the Dave Ramsey method, I could probably pay off my debt within a year, but I realized I wanted to take a more balanced approach. I want to actually enjoy my life and spend on things and experiences. I want to invest for my future and max out my retirement accounts. I want to keep a 6-month emergency fund to help me not feel anxious about a job loss. I didn't want everything I did to be rooted in fear and lack. So I just want to say that you have permission to take any approach to debt payoff that feels right for you. Having debt isn't a moral failing, and being debt-free doesn't automatically mean you're farther along in your financial journey. I started my first full-time job with
What's going on with that pizza?
I have no idea.
Was that pizza stone?
Maybe?
Anyway, so she started her first full time job with $100,000 in debt.
Mm, I would need that job.
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, it's good that she's paying it off, though. Prioritize the debts. If you're in debt, just prioritize and pay it off.
Yeah.
Because you do not want to be in 100K debt,
So
especially student loans, because there is no way to discharge it in bankruptcy.
no. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about something. She put honey on that pizza.
The heck?
That's what she put on the pizza. She put honey and red pepper flakes on pizza.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Once again, you're talking about debt and stuff, and it should be more informative. But that really bothered me. Anyway, yeah. I'm so glad. Once again, I wish I got the higher education. Really, I'm glad I didn't, because I feel like I would really been stuck if I did.
Yeah.
Because my mom didn't end up paying off hers until I was basically almost out of high school,
And it's still not paid off.
and it's still not paid off.
Hmm.
I'm 24 now. She's been paying that mess off since I was like 5.
That's what happens when you like go back to school and you don't have time to like save up to pay any of the tuition.
Yeah. And there's a payment amount you have to make, like there's a minimum payment amount that can just be putting money into it. You serious?
Yeah. You've
Ridiculous.
got the like IDR plans, income driven repayment plans. But like, right now the save plan is basically gone. It's most likely not coming back due to the election results and all of that. So you got to look at different avenues just in case, because that's most likely gone forever. They might take away like all IDR plans, but I don't know. It's just like a lot of people have been speculating what might happen with that, and your payments might increase. So you don't want to be stuck in this. If you have opportunity to pay off those student loans now, just do it. Pay off as much as you can, even if you don't have the full amount. Just do what you can.
For real. I would like to say this. Come look in the comments because my eyes wander a lot when we're doing this. I'm kind of not paying attention a little bit. Her goal is to pay off enough debt to get a house. How much debt? She didn't say no debt. She said enough debt.
I guess enough to where it's not going to take like 50% of her income to pay the debt and the house because it's a debt to income ratio. And she probably has a debt to income ratio that's too high to even get approved for a mortgage. So maybe that's what it is, and she just needs to get it down so that she can get a house.
Paying off her debt to get into more debt.
Yep.
Yes. And isn't that crazy how that's like how life is?
Yeah, it sucks. This is why don't rush to buy a house. Don't rush to buy anything where you need to get into debt. Try to do it debt free, or at least as much as you can debt free.
If it, I'm moving to a van. Also, my forehead is shining light off of it. Bald. I'm bald. But yeah, no, it's just this is a lot of work, and I'm happy I don't have to go through stress ever.
Like for real, prioritize the emergency fund and all of that. Even if you don't have an emergency fund, you should be resourceful. Have sign up for the delivery apps now, the DoorDash, all of that.
Yes.
Sign up for surveys, sign up for anything just in case, even if you don't have that amount, because you really, it's not required. Because I feel like hearing that is just stressing a lot of people out, because a lot of people in this economy can't even save anywhere near that. They can't save anything. So do the side hustles for extra income and fall back on that if you do lose your job.
Yeah. Sorry that I'm looking so weird and getting so close to the camera. I'm really cold right now.
It is really cold in
You
here.
need a blanket or anything?
I'm good.
Okay. But truly, at the end of the day, it's just like, be careful. I'm not going to be going to no college or school unless I win the lottery, and maybe if I don't do that, I'm going to certifications.
Yeah, I will not be going back to school because paying off all of that student loan debt set us back financially a lot. I would have a lot more saved up right now if I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And it's the degree isn't even really helping me that
It's,
much.
it's not.
But I mean, it's there. I don't regret it. It's just like, bruh, should not be that expensive.
The biggest issue for you is the companies.
Yeah.
That one that was supposed to be a really good paying job legit hired you and then proceeded to fire you without giving you any work to do, which was ridiculous. And I still hate them. They can still suck 25 eggs, all spoiled, out of a tube.
And this is why you should do everything you can to set up something for yourself, whether it's a business or like a fund to just live off of, because you need to stop slaving away for these jobs that don't care about you, because they will tell you to your face that you're so great, you're getting a bonus next week. And then that very next week, they're going to tell you you're fired. So don't trust anything jobs tell you.
Oh, jobs don't care about you? Ooh. We got a video like that coming up soon.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that next. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But anyway, this is some mess for real. Let's go next to the next thing. Once again, C's the expert on debt. That is student loan based. I'm the expert on debt. That is credit card based. I mean, expert. I mean, I'm still in it.
I'm an expert on like all the debt.
I'm in pain.
And also, if you want to hear my debt free journey,
Yeah.
comment. I'll share it either way.
See, dude, you're not. It's not. It's not with your consent. She's gonna start talking about it. You're gonna hear about it. I'm not an expert on credit card debt. She's expert on every debt.
Yeah.
I'm just someone who's suffering with it.
Paying off debt teaches you a lot about money.
It really does.
So I'm not scared of money no more.
Never again. Never again. I'm so glad that I accidentally threw away my credit card because they sent me a new one and I didn't know my credit card expired, and so now I have no credit card, and it's great. It's actually made me really happy to not have that at all.
Yeah, honestly, how everyone tells you like you need to build credit if you want to get a house or a car and all of that. That's the only reason I got a credit card, because I knew I needed one, especially to get an apartment too. And now that I'm just gonna live life not going into debt at all, I really don't even see the point in the credit card except for the points.
Yeah.
Because I use all the points that I accumulate on purchases. that I'm gonna be making anyway, and then I use that to cover the purchases that I've made, so I get free money.
Yeah. To be real, I before I quit my job, I did not even really touch my credit card. I always used debit. I have always used debit.
Yeah.
Debit was my main thing, but I didn't realize I had to use my credit card to build credit up, and I didn't like that. I hated it.
Should have just stuck with the small purchases
Yeah.
and paid it off as soon as it posts. That's how you build credit. But really, if you are saying you want to live life debt free, you really don't even need one. But it is good to have one because you never know what's going to happen. And you want the option to have a line of credit when you really need it.
Yeah.
Just don't use it. Have self control. And don't use it for stuff that you don't need and you know you can't pay back once it posts.
For real.
Don't count on any other future paycheck or whatever. What if something happened to the bank and then you don't even get your money on time? The credit card company is not going to understand why you don't have your minimum payment. Oh, the bank isn't posting my payment on time? Oh, well, not our problem. And they go raise your interest rates and then put penalty on your account.
Yeah, for real. And also, that's because your bank raises up your credit limit. Does not mean you use anywhere near it. Honestly, I should have stayed in my $300 range.
I have self control.
I don't.
So I take the credit limits. I mean the credit increases, but I don't use anywhere near it. I still only buy what I know that I have in my account right now.
Yeah, for real. For real, I should stayed because before when I had 300, I stayed within the 100, and as soon as I saw the 2000, I don't know what happened. The self control was gone. It was the worst idea of my life. And she warned me so many times, and I said, listen to your significant other when they say something smart. Don't be stupid.
And don't depend on any money coming in. You never know when you need it for another emergency. And yeah, it's just not good to gamble with your money.
Unless you're actually gambling with your money. Just so you know, 99% of gamblers quit before they win.
Well,
that's stupid. No, stop.
So
don't do it. Gambling addiction's bad.
Really bad.
It's really bad. Okay, next thing. We've been yapping this entire time. Keep doing it.
I'm in $71,000 worth of debt right now, so let's see how we got there. So let's start with credit cards. I have 4 credit cards, but only 3 of them are in use. To begin, I have Discover number 1, which is $8,159, which is actually a Discover loan, like personal loan that I took out to pay off my actual credit cards because the interest rate for the personal loan was cheaper than the interest rates on each card. So it's saving me money in the long run, paying it off. But for about a year, I wasn't working and was kind of depressed, so it got racked up a little bit. So $8,159 is a personal loan that I pay off every month, and the interest rate for that is 11.9%. Again, it's a lot cheaper than credit card interest rates, which are usually like 20-something%. Next, I have my Amex card. These next 3 cards are like my everyday cards, and right now they do have balances, but it's my like everyday kind of like spending, so I will pay these off at the end of the month like normal. But this one has $305 on it. My MasterCard has $370. And then my actual Discover card has $13 on it. So those will get paid off at the end of the month like normal. So I don't really consider that debt, even though it technically is. Next is the big kahuna. It's the student loans. I regret going to college, but I regret how expensive it was and living on campus, okay? So this is broken up into 2 sections. So I have like my personal student loans, like government student loans, and then I have the Parent Plus loan that is in my dad's name, but I pay it because it was for my schooling. I'm not gonna make him pay that. Mine in my name is $45,924 with interest rates between 2.75 and 4.6. So my student loans are broken up by like different loans for each semester. So there's like a gajillion different small loans and they all have different interest rates. But right now I'm on the income driven plan and I make so little money that I have a $0 a month payment on it. So I don't have to pay it every month, but it's still gaining interest, so it still sucks. And then the Parent Plus loan that's in my dad's name that I do have to pay every month because he does not qualify for an income driven repayment plan. The total is $16,305 with an interest rate of 7.21. So that one I pay $211.37 a month to pay that one off. So it's gonna take a while, but that's all my debt. That's how I got there. I'm in $71,000 worth of debt.
That's not good.
It's not good. I was actually waiting for you to say something first. 'Cause I was going to say, um, even though I'm in credit card debt, I'd never seen myself having more than one credit card.
Me neither. I've never had more than one credit card. I've just had the same credit card this whole time.
The only difference in my credit card, they had changed it on me because mine was a beginner credit card, so they had changed it to an actual money back credit card when mine was just a points credit card at first. So unless you count that, I have only had one credit card my entire life.
Yeah, I did upgrade because they just gave me an upgrade for good credit. So I actually got purchases reimbursed because of the perks. So now I get the perks for having good credit, and that's all it is. But I never had one credit card, like, and then like more than one credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cannot be me. I mean, it might be a good credit mix, but I don't even care about all of that mess. That's how they trap you because they say, like, oh, keep your credit lines open because if you pay off your student loans or any loans, then your credit score is going to dip. But okay, it's temporary and it's still good to pay off the debt. And then, like, you got to worry about credit mix and this and that. How about no mixes because no debt?
For real. For real. Once again, student loans are always going to be the biggest loans out there. I like how she got 8,000 credit card, $8,000 with credit card debt on one credit card,
Mm.
and then like, no, this is no, and then they had three other credit cards, which did not even reach that amount.
I don't know. I know that certain credit cards have different perks and stuff, but yeah, to me, it's just not worth it to have to keep up with all of that. So I'm gonna just stick with one, and whatever it is, I'm not gonna use any money I don't have, and that's just gonna be it.
Yeah, for real. Once again, I can say this: no matter how many points you get, if the point, because my points converted to like money for me, my points did not go above double digit. It not even like a good double digit. It was low double digit. So the points aren't worth it.
It is to me. What the heck were you doing? I guess you don't. I don't know. Maybe it's your car or your bank or the places that you buy stuff from because like I only make like a few purchases and I don't spend that much except for groceries and that's reasonable. And I end up with like double digits. Like especially when I go to BJ's, that mess that it goes at least like $7 in points maybe sometimes.
Mm.
Depends on how much I spend.
For me, mine was supposed to be better at restaurants, gas stations, and grocery stores,
Mm.
and I usually will use mine at the grocery store. So because I work there, and that's why we usually use my card. I didn't get that many points. It's supposed to get like three times points from that. I did. At the end of the day, my points converted to money, and it was not that much.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe it just sucks.
yeah, it probably just sucks.
I don't know. Mine seems worth it enough. It's not like a lot, but it's still rewarding to see a purchase covered. Really nice.
Yeah,
But yeah, student loans are like the biggest expense that you're gonna ever make, like after houses, I feel like. Maybe car too. Sometimes they can be like close together depending on how much you take out.
I was gonna guess medical bills.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of expenses. This should not be this expensive to live.
no, I get cars. I don't get
Yeah,
medical. Uh, this is ridiculous.
it is crazy. Not for me.
Let's go on to the next thing because we can't ramble for a whole 10 minutes each time.
I'm not willing to do anything to get out of debt.
Listen, I understand. This was us in 2022. I felt like we were never going to get ahead of it. We had $30,000 of debt. It was always growing. Every time we paid off a little, something else would get added. It just felt like it was always there. And we were like, we're just going to have to live with it. I woke up in 2023, something in the beginning of January 2023, and was like, we have to pay it off. I was pregnant with our second son. I have always known that I wanted to homeschool, and I think just this thought of like, one day I want to homeschool, which means that I could want to quit my job. There's definitely no chance of me quitting a job and us being on one income if we still have an $800 minimum payment each month. And let me just say the $800 minimum was not even moving the needle. It was like you pay off a little, you put a little on, it always stays there. We worked so hard for 6 months. It's not a long time, but it was a very hard time for us. We were both working full time. We already had our firstborn. I was working 3 contract jobs. Matt was working a second. He was taking over like all of the nighttime shift. Like we were not messing around. And the goal was to finish by the time our second son was born. And let me say, we finished less than 10 days before he was born. And I can't tell you what a relief it has been ever since then. That was last June is when we finished. I feel like on one hand, before I was like, I don't want to be a slave to paying off this debt, so let's just keep it at the minimum. But after we paid it off, I felt like so free from this thought of like, just in the back of my head, this anxiety of figuring out money, of feeling like we're never getting ahead, of all these things. It was a terrible 6 months, and I don't think that it's not great that any of us are in this point, and it's not like we were buying all these random things and accumulating all this. Like we were very logical with our purchase and still ended up here. I feel so much better now. And let me just say, I say all this to say, you don't know what life is coming for you. And I don't say this from an anxious point, but just saying that September, August, I found out that I was going to get laid off in November. I can't tell you what I would have felt if that had happened 6 months before, or if we never paid off the debt. I can't even imagine my mental state. And you just never know what life's going to throw you. So all that to say, you're always going to be tired. You're always going to be busy. It's always going to be inconvenient. And ultimately, that's why we did it when we did it, is because we were like, it's not going to get easier when we have 2 kids or 3 kids or whatever. And being laid off and already being anxious about having a job in general and finding a job. But that being on top of having a credit card payment that big, it just wouldn't have happened. We would have been completely screwed. So all this to say, it's inconvenient, yes. I hate that this stuff happens and that debt catches up to you and all the things, but I will always be an advocate to work hard so you can be relaxed later, because it has been so worth it to not have any debt and also to have more wiggle room in our budget, to finally have savings, shocking, to finally be able to save for a car, to be not as stressed when I'm laid off. All of the things, definitely worth it. I don't love rice and beans for every meal, but we budgeted so hard. We canceled every subscription. We did all the things. We did no spend days. We did all the things, worked extra jobs, and it was possible and it was worth it. And you can do it fast if you're committed. I'm not.
Oh, that rice and beans.
It's not that bad.
Oh man, rice and beans is pretty bad.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to have a better future, because you could be sitting here right now living luxury, and then if you were struggling actually right now, you would have been like, I wish I had struggled earlier so that I wouldn't have to be suffering now.
Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks. The rice and beans.
So dramatic, bro. And even if you have to like slave a little to pay off the debt in full, like I would think that's better than slaving like for the 30-year term that they give you to pay stuff off.
Yeah.
And they hike up the interest, and you would be paying more in the end. And you just want to get rid of the monthly payment so you can free up your money and you can do whatever you want with your money.
Yeah, but also hold on, I gotta get a blanket. It is freezing.
Bruh.
It is so cold. We woke up today and it was like 66 in here.
Yeah. It's really cold.
We don't turn the heat because it gets too hot.
If only it would snow.
For real. Hopefully it snows this year.
Yeah. For real. But anyways, paying off debt, like when you realize that you've lost the job that you had, but you don't have any of that debt, it really is less stressful, like a lot less stressful.
See, experience.
Yeah. I was just like, I paid off all of my debt. I'm good. If I get fired, I get fired. I can figure something else out. But I know that the bank is not coming to knock on my door on in like 3 days now, and I gotta figure out how to make this money. Like, there's none of that happening. So it's
Yep.
really good to not have that.
It is pretty good. That's
Set
pretty good.
yourself up for the future.
Yeah. See, she knows what she's talking about. She's been through it.
Yeah.
Experience from firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mess paid off. Jobs really be best enough.
Cause that's the whole way the world works, because they want you to be a slave.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to be dependent on your job and struggling and afraid of money, so that you just keep working and working, and you don't have time to think for yourself and figure out what you actually want to do with your money. So that's how everything is set up. So don't get into this debt and then have to rely on these jobs that don't care about you.
For real.
It's not good. It's never good. And sacrifices have to be made at some point. It's either that or you're sacrificing all of your disposable income every month.
Yep.
Yep. And
Mm-mm.
all the money you put into the debt, and you look at that at the end of the year, and you realize that it's like $10,000 over what you even took out the loan for. You could have put that into a down payment on a house, or a high yield savings account, a brokerage account, or savings.
Yeah.
And you could have a safety net if you lost your job.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah. If you pay it off, I would say pay off when you can, but pay it. Try to make it priority to pay it off.
Yes. I made it my number one priority. I eat, breathed, and slept debt.
You ate, breathed, and slept bologna, pasta noodles, and rice and beans.
Yeah. Cancel the subscription. Cancel whatever else. And what's crazy is, after I paid off the debt, that's when I did the reevaluation of all of our bills, and I got the payments lower. Like, I could have paid this off way sooner, but I don't think it made that much of a difference. But if you look at it over the years that I've had it, for like 4 years, I wasted so much money.
It really did.
It sucks.
It does. Oh well. That's how it happens.
How it be?
How it be. Anyway, I hope it's not picking up movement of my arms and stuff on his mic. One more, and then be it. Good, been at this for a second.
I'm going to hold your hand while I say this, but not everyone is in credit card debt. It's just frustrating to get on this app and see that people are saying don't worry, if you see your friends going on trips, they're in debt. If you see this, they're keeping, that's true in some cases. I'm not denying that. But me and my husband are a great example of people who go on trips, have a great life, but we don't have any debt. And I think the biggest problem is this whole keeping up with the Joneses thing, where people are living above their means. And second of all, the cost of convenience. People indulge in conveniences when they simply can't afford it. Conveniences like Amazon Prime and DoorDash and things like that all sound great, but in reality, those add up and are high costs. We could totally live in a nicer place, in a nicer location, but we choose to live below our means because we're still pretty young, and we would rather live a better life later on in our lives, living on the beach and things like that later, rather than do it now, because lifestyle creep is a thing. So as our incomes have gone up, we have lived the same. We've been together for 8 years and we still live the same way we did 6 years ago. We do spend around $600 to $700 on groceries every month for 2 people, which sounds crazy, but for us, our value
like we value health and we make all of our food at home. We rarely go out to eat, so it's really important to us that we have high quality food and we source it from high quality places. But for instance, we just paid off our used car. It's a Hyundai Santa Fe. It's nothing luxury. We dropped down to one car because we both work at home. So 3 years ago, I sold my car and it was one of the best decisions I made. But back to Amazon Prime and all those different things. Like first of all, we both don't shop very much. I get most of my clothes from my sisters and friends, so I'm very lucky in that way. I get a lot of clothes secondhand. We don't drink, so we don't go out and we don't spend money on food after we're drinking. We really just indulge in nature and go on a lot of trips. We just went to Europe earlier this year, Costa Rica before that, Mexico, and so many other places right before that. We paid for our entire wedding ourselves, and that was about less than a year ago. It hasn't even been a year yet, but we had no debt. We paid it off before the wedding even happened. It was a wedding in the Florida Keys for 3 days, so on the outside, we look really average, and that's totally okay with me. I'm gonna.
Ooh, 3 days.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something and I forgot. I'm sorry, my bad. Anyway, it is very hard to make sure that you're just not spending this because you got money. Once again, the phrase "I'm an adult, I have adult money" is pretty bad.
I grew up with discipline. Well, I disciplined myself on money. I literally taught myself about money.
You really did.
And like every time I got money from somebody, I would just save it. Like I never spent it because the mindset was like, what if I need it for something? Or what if there's something I actually really want in the future? And then like I can't get that because I spent it on
Yeah.
like something that's not as important.
Yeah. Also, with the whole food delivery apps, they're scamming you.
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, they're upselling on you. If you just go to the websites of the actual restaurant or their actual apps, or you just walk into a store, they're usually paying it like at least $3 underneath the price they try to sell to you on these apps.
Yep, and at this point, they're starting to not even refund you if you don't even get your food because you signed the TOS,
Read those.
the terms of service.
You should really read those. People sneak up things all the time.
Yeah, it's not good. They're shady and they don't care about you. They're just trying to make a profit.
Oh yeah.
And it's a trend, really. Might end. But I don't really see the delivery apps going away like that because people are just going to keep paying for convenience.
Yeah. Also, if you're gonna, I want to say this about delivery app people who order. If you're gonna order and you live in the side of the city which has the mansions that can be going for $1 million, and you don't tip above at least $5, what are you doing?
For real. Because when you have wealth, you should give. Like, that's just kind of the standard law of wealth. Not like give all of your money away, but like if someone is doing a service for you, you can be generous and give them what you think that they deserve based off of their service. So don't just be like, oh, they're below me. Like, no, you can give them at least $5.
For real. It doesn't seem like it'd be much out of you if you're living in a $1 million mansion. I looked up the prices.
I mean, we don't expect anyone to give $1,000,
Nope.
but just be generous. Like $5, $10. It goes a long way for the person that is taking out they're bringing down the value of their car and they have to pay for gas and all of this just to come to you and
Yeah.
give you your order.
Cause we all know darn well that those houses are not close enough.
Yeah.
Those things are pretty far away. There's a
Ooh,
drive. You had to drive for a second to get to those.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm tired of y'all. I don't like y'all. I hate y'all. Y'all can take your teriyaki madness and shove it where it should come out of after you're done eating it.
Ooh.
Exactly. Anyway,
And don't be judging people that have like they have different priorities in their spending, but they're doing it that's what they're like within reasonable means for their lifestyle because like if you have a lot of kids or something, and you're spending like $700 a month on groceries, or like they prioritize like healthy, so I'm guessing organic, which costs more,
Ugh.
but they make everything at home, which does save a lot of money.
Yeah.
But but
What?
like the spending seems to be reasonable like everywhere, and if they know what they're doing, then it's good. They don't seem to be in debt, and if they are traveling, they're probably getting good deals. So people traveling does not mean that they're in debt, and people getting nice cars and nice things doesn't always mean they're in debt.
True. I don't know how much it is, but I remember a lot of people times. This might be like a thing about racing more than debt or whatever. But my mom, goes into places they act like she got a lot of debt, and she actually has really
Mm.
good. She actually, even though she has a lot of debt, her credit score is great.
Didn't she say it sucks?
Oh well, it sucks now. At least sucks now. It used to be
Does
really
it?
good because well, not that great, but
How do
people,
you know her credit score?
I don't know. Anyway, sometimes she has to use my grandma's credit score to help her out. But anyway, sometimes people who have money have worse credit scores than
Hmm.
people who have no money. Because the fact of the matter is that people who have money don't think about it and they don't spend it. And when they realize, oh, I hadn't paid my debt in a second, they just kind of put money into it. And that don't help build credit.
Yeah.
That don't help build credit. You put money into it when you remembered it. You didn't put credit into it at a point where you needed to remember it.
Or maybe they're not like privileged or anything, but they just know how to handle money, because rich people, like if you're actually wealthy, you know how to handle your wealth instead of just wasting it on stuff that you don't need. And rich people might be getting like the rich luxury stuff sometimes, but they have the money to get what they want. And I know a lot of people go overboard, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Just saying at the end of the day, you legit could be rich with bad credit because you're doing too much.
Yeah, you should live below your means. Always.
Truly.
If I'm a billionaire, I would still be living in the same type of, I would have my budget, same type of house, same type of everything. The budget will not change. Maybe it could go up a little bit if everything for that budget is crap, but I'm still getting the best thing I can get for the lowest price possible.
If I'm a billionaire, you're not gonna know.
Yep,
'Cause I will be living like a hobo, basically. I'll be living in a one-story apartment with billions of dollars in my banking account. But you would never know.
that's how the real rich people be living out here.
For real. You don't know they rich.
Yeah,
They just walking around acting like they poor.
for real.
Mm-mm. I'm not trying to play. I'm not trying to flex for nobody.
Me neither. Like, nobody cares. It's not cool to be in debt either. So if you are flexing a super nice car, but you had to take out debt to get it, what flex is that? Nobody cares. And now you're the one with debt and they're not.
Nope.
I would be jealous of the ones living it up, living below their means with uncool stuff with no debt, though. That's just me.
Yeah. Truly. Truthfully.
Yeah.
How long has this recording been going?
Too long.
Oh, dang. Well, I guess we're gonna end it here. Let's go to full face. I did. Dang, we've been talking. Dang, it's been an hour almost.
Yep.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, we basically said took my entire piece. Just be careful of your credit cards. Be careful of everything,
Yes.
and pay off your debt when you can. Uh, Even if it has to be the most tedious tasks of all your day and stuff. Just make sure you can make the money to pay it off. At least hit your minimum payments, even though you can't really pay it off yet.
Yeah, just avoid debt as much as you can. Don't make it like a first priority, the first resort. It should be the last.
Most definitely.
And it's there if you need it, but not there just because you want it and you want to get something now that you don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah. And read all the paperwork and the terms that come with your debt, know the interest rates, and negotiate that or get something that has a better rate. Check it daily.
Truly. Well, anyway, like and subscribe and stuff.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Uh, and comment while you click on the video. Once again, as we said in the last video about I got that many views on it yet. If you do see this video, tell me what you like about it. Why did you click on it in the first place? What made you click on the video and stuff?
We're researching.
Yeah, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.